We continue to destroy the world's only sealed collection of the Imperium Magazine. Or maybe not. Hello my friends, my name is Max, and today we're going to open this second issue of the Imperium Magazine that is out of print almost everywhere in the world, except for Canada, I have been told. So what do we have here in the second issue? We have 3 Necron Warriors, a paint pot, and a brush. It's gonna be fun. Let's open it. So, what do we get? We get a really interesting looking sprue with 3 Necron Warriors. This is the first time I see this kind of sprue. I haven't seen it before. It is essentially just 3 guys over here. We're gonna take a closer look a bit later. We have a brush. This is starter brush, which means that it is probably not particularly good. However, it seems like it is actually quite okay. You probably can paint with this brush even. Wow, that is interesting. Alright, this is good to have. I'm gonna keep this brush. We have base Runelord brass paint over here. I'm pretty sure it is already a bit old. Luckily for me, I have a gadget that allows to buzz these things and revive them. So I will have to do just that. And this is the paint you're gonna use for painting the Necrons. Of course, 3 bases for the Necron Warriors. And the magazine itself. What do we get here? We get a really nice art. We have an explanation how these spells are gonna look like when they're painted. And let's see what's inside. Yeah, it's a bit warped because it was stored with the minis. And that is what we get here. They explain us who the Necron Warriors are. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see the explanations for every single type of units. For Space Marines and the Necrons. Further on, battle record. Of course, you can name your units. You can do some sort of degradations, lasting damage. You can see that's burned by acid, so not everything can be apparently restored by the fancy reparation mechanisms. Glorious Tusk, record of battles, so you can personalize your Necron Warriors here. Here they explain us what the Zarechan dynasty is, who is the Zarech, the Silent King, and what his dynasty is all about. The Zarech, Imperium of Man, threat analysis. Yeah, that is gonna be interesting. This is tidbits of lore. Further on, we see information about Ultramarines, Warriors of Macrage. Have some nice arts. We have some painted minis. This picture showcases the range nicely. Lots of new miniatures over here, Primaris miniatures. Looks incredibly cool. Some sort of fluff. And this is how you build the minis. This is how you build the Necron Warriors. They're push fits. You don't have to use glue, allegedly. As we learned last time with the Royal Warden, it is not really the case. You have to glue stuff. But yeah, this is how you assemble these spells. They should be very straightforward. As you can see, it's not a lot of bits involved in every single Necron Warrior. So they, for me, are like Thermaguns. Almost like Thermaguns. Thermaguns are a bit easier. Next, we see a section on how to paint Citadel miniatures. Hobby area. Very nicely placed sprues and everything. They have all this stuff. The handle, the water pots, the glue. The mold line remove tool, yet again, I do not recommend this one, and I do not recommend these cutters. Get yourself nice cutters and a hobby knife, or a mold line remove tool, dedicated one, and you will save yourself a lot of hand pains. Here we go, getting started. Your Citadel tools, water pots. I actually have this pot, it's really nice. My girlfriend took it from me, and now she is painting using this pot. Very, very nice pot. This is how you open the paints. Preparing the paints. They use normal palettes, palette pads. I recommend wet palettes if you are into this hobby more or less seriously. And if you're already serious in this hobby, you already know that you should use a wet palette. How to paint Necron Warriors Rune Lord Brass. First coat, second coat, third coat. Alright. Royal Warden. Okay, so you're painting the mini from the previous issue here too. Wow, this magazine is actually quite rich on painting instructions. And that is how you are painting these spells. Note that you do not really base coat them. This is interesting. I would assume that you're supposed to base coat, but I think you're supposed to use it with a spray, and they don't want to make things too complicated. Anyways, we arrived to the section of the playthrough. I did some reading on the previous magazine, and it actually makes a lot of sense. The playthrough is really nice there. You use just 2 miniatures, and you learn how to play the game, like super basic way of playing the game, which is really nice. And yeah, you see a bunch of stuff here. Escape routes. So you are now able to use the Necron Warriors and Primaris Lieutenants, which is actually quite cool. Space Marines turn. They explain you how the turns work. The Space Marines starts, then the Necrons. And of course, you just have 2 first turns. And that is pretty much it with this magazine. They advertise issue 3 and issue 4, and they call you to subscribe, which you cannot do anymore. And this is what we're gonna see in the next issue. We're gonna see 3 Assault Intercessors. I'm really thrilled to have that. And issue number 4 has a lot of value, enormous value. Scopac Destroyers and this plasma whatever thing over here, they are really cool. So this is the magazine, a really nice magazine, lots of painting instructions. Let's take a closer look at this thing. So we have a sprue. I'm gonna move my light here. We have a sprue for 3 Necron Warriors. They have only 1 weapon option, so this is like a Gauss rifle of some sort, not the double rifle as I call it, but just the simplest one that you can get. Very simple sprue, should be very straightforward to build them. Usually the Necron Warriors are fairly easy to assemble. The only problem I personally have with them is that they're very flimsy. You might be bothered with them breaking things here and there, but this is gonna be fun. And yeah, it's actually quite cool that they have just 3, so you are not overwhelmed with 10 of them, which these things usually go by. They are usually in units of 10, and there are some Canoptic Scarab swarms with them too. Nevertheless, you just need to build 3, which is fairly easy. So this issue is really cool. I'm actually quite surprised they have both minis and a paint pot. Usually it is one way or another. It is either minis or the paint pots. And yeah, I think that is gonna be it for today, my friends. Let me know in the comments below if you picked up at any point this issue of Imperium Magazine, if you have been subscribed to it. Let me know if you played the scenario with 3 Necron Warriors and Space Marine Lieutenants. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. This way you will not miss more content like this. Check out the video that you see now on your screen. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.